afternoon, ladies. Good, good, good. Just bring me one t-shirt and one book out of the bag. How's everybody doing? Of course, let me say thank you so much to Angela for bringing me here. I am just beyond excited. I'm a success coach by profession, but I'm an entrepreneur, and I own the Ware agency based in Atlanta, Georgia, and I work with churches and pastors, and I help them with their marketing, their PR, and their social media. And then I do church leadership workshops, and as a result of traveling all across the country for the past 14 years doing that, I would meet different entrepreneurs, and they began to ask me, how did you build your business? How are you getting these invitations? And truth be told, it was a lot of hard work and sacrifice. And so I decided that I would go and get formal training. And so I'm a certified life and business coach, which qualifies me to say that I coach. And the fact when I crossed the six-figure mark, I could now call myself a success coach. Amen? So, but that's not always been my truth. One thing about me, and I, of course, want to say thank you so much to Pastor Teresa for her just transparency. I have a friend of mine that has a whole business built on calling herself an emotional nudist because she's so transparent. We all know that freedom comes in transparency. And so I am a minister of the gospel, about to be ordained in a couple of weeks. I'm at Bishop Paul Morton's church in Atlanta, and I know your brother. And so I thank God for that. So I always want to shout out my man of God. And of course, I want to greet you as well, Pastor. Thank you so much. But today, my assignment, I am excited to talk about purpose. I want to help you all understand how to identify what your purpose is, regardless if you've never seen anybody else walk in that purpose, and then how to get paid by it. How about that? All right, how about that? Yes, because see, I'm that girl. When I decide I want one of those purses, that necklace, and take a trip, I want to be able to do it. So today I'm talking about illuminating your purpose. The Lord, too, gave me a book. Congratulations on your book. I'm excited for you. But the Lord gave me a book that I'm writing, and I'm going to release. My 50th birthday will be January, so I'm going to release it in January. Yes. All right. So the Lord gave me this. Mountain movers don't trip over rocks. Mountain movers don't trip over rocks. See, mountain movers move past rocks. See, we understand that in order to stay on task with what our purpose is, that we will willingly take the high road. There's nothing you can accuse me of that is so bad that I can't take the high road. That is why I loved your testimony. See, there's no shame in my game. I know everything I've done in my past. I'm over it. Now it's your turn to get over it. Be careful of distractions that will come your way. You can't get distracted by moths. You know, moths are attracted to light. So some of us that are saying, well, things were going so well, but we've got all these distractions, that means you're doing well. Mountain movers don't collect rocks. Number 2. People are like rocks. You know, people like to get on moving trains. When you get focused and on assignment, don't allow bystanders to jump on your train. Do you know how heavy it is to carry dead weight? That's what collecting rocks will do to you. See, this is my season for success. And so I've been the one out here laboring for 14 years. I have been the one to make the sacrifices of carrying an Ubi baton before I could afford a Louis Vuitton. Yeah. And so, no, you can't borrow mine. Absolutely not. I worked hard. I did. Everything I've done, it was from being on my knees, praying to God, and listening to what he told me to do. And so now that my train's moving, I don't need any extra weight. Number 3, mountain movers don't throw rocks. We understand that when you throw a rock, you can hurt someone, you can cut someone, or blind someone. See, God will take care of the rocks that you feel like you need to throw. If you trust him that you know your purpose, you will walk your purpose out. We support each other regardless, even if it's from afar. I just had the opportunity to meet Angela just since she invited me to come and be a part of this event. But I have followed her on social media. I have liked, I have commented, I have given hearts, all of that to celebrate and support another woman. We have to support each other. I literally said at the table, did I not? I'm going to go broke because I got to buy something from all these different people. See, I'm an entrepreneur. I know how it is to pack up all my stuff and come to an event and set up a table and have nobody buy. Ladies, we should never allow another sister to set up anything and we have the means to support them and we don't do that. Mountain movers, we actually collect rocks. We understand our life assignment is to help people be who they're supposed to be. I'm not intimidated that she's releasing a book. I'm not intimidated that she's being in a book. I'm not intimidated by anything any of you all have going on. Right? So I will gladly support her. I will put her out on social media. I've already been tweeting and posting because I understand that I am supposed to help women in particular be who they're supposed to be. Now I want you all had journals. She gave you something to write on, I believe. But I want you to define your why. The reason why I'm so confident, it's not arrogance, it's confidence because I know my why. I know why I do what I do. I am an entrepreneur that coaches women and some men how to use social media and technology to go global. See, we all say, oh, I'm global, I'm international, but you don't have a website. Or your website looks like you did it. Or your Instagram is full of selfies. You're not ready. You're not ready. You have to be able to sell without selling, and a picture of your latest shoes or outfit of the day sells nothing. And so I help you understand when you recognize your why, you will be intentional about your every move. I didn't call Angela and ask her what the attire was, though I want one of them t-shirts. But I recognize that I am my own brand. And so I can't say that I travel and speak and make $5,000 and that I have coaching programs for $5,000 and then come in front of a new audience looking cheap. My hair's together, my nails are together, my dress is together, my Spanx are together. You have to remember, yeah, oh, I got Spanx, baby, for any occasion. I know the men are in the room, but I got them from down here to up here to around here, and sure enough, no VPL. Oh, no, never do panty lines, ladies. Absolutely not. You have to look like what you're selling. Always remember that. I heard you say you don't watch Scandal. Well, I need deliverance because I watch it. But let me tell you what happened. Just the other week, 2 weeks ago, I was watching Scandal, and because I am a coach, I always find a reason to add value to whatever I do. So I don't spend time with reality TV and all that kind of stuff, but when I have my downtime, I can watch it on DVR. So I was watching, actually I was watching Empire. That's what it was, watching Empire. But I got on Twitter. And so I was reading the tweets, and I saw a publicist that I didn't know, don't have a relationship with. She put a tweet out, and she said, I'm in Atlanta, and I need to interview a clinical psychologist on tomorrow. I immediately tweeted her back and said, I have someone. One of my clients is a clinical psychologist. I just did her marketing for her, did her branding. And so I gave her my office number. And so she called me immediately. Within 5 minutes, I had confirmed my client would be available for the next day, and we would do the interview. So sure enough, we go to my client's office. The publicist comes, and she does a full interview, and she wanted to talk about mental health. Because of the storyline in Empire, I'm going somewhere if you just listen. Because of the storyline in Empire, she wanted to put an article out. That was an opportunity for God to get some glory. So my client answered all the questions. She ended up shooting 5 spots. This is where you talk about community. My client isn't media ready. We just started together. But I sat there in that interview with her, and literally I stopped her every single time she didn't say what I wanted her to say. And I gave her the words to say. So you would think she was Dr. Phil. Now, I'm not a publicist, but I'm well studied. See, when you declare that you're a success, even when you can't afford the expertise you know you need, you become well studied. And so that's why YouTube exists. That's why Twitter exists. Well, long story short, we did the interview. Everything went well. This publicist, it turned out, worked for Rolling Out magazine, one of the largest urban magazines in the country. And your girl was just sitting on Twitter, happened to see a tweet, and that's how it all got started. Well, when we were leaving, I said to her, if you ever need any pastors or ministers for interviews, I work with them. I've got quite a few. I work with Dewey Smith. I work with Bishop. And I just work with tons of them. God's been kind to me, right? She looked at me and she said, I don't fool with preachers. I said, okay, Holy Ghost. She said, I was really burned by a pastor that wasn't living his truth. We all know that that happens. Absolutely. So I wasn't going to argue and with her on that. So I said, well, okay, no problem. So she was walking out, and I'm telling you, just as well as I'm standing here, she stopped and she turned around and she looked at me and she said, but I need somebody that can write an inspirational article for Sunday mornings because we believe our readers need a little bit of hope. I said, I deliver hope. And within 24 hours, they created a religious column that I am now the editor and writer of. Awesome. So you never know. That's why we can't be afraid to be light in dark places. So when you understand your why, you're brave enough and bold enough to walk in everything that the Bible teaches. See, we're Bible scholars, but we're not implementers. We don't understand and take to task the scriptures. Oh, I'm going to tell you, that's why we don't open the door for Jehovah's Witnesses, because we're afraid we can't out-talk them. Yeah, you know why Muslims stand on the corner and sell bean pies? It's because they know their truths. But ladies and a couple of men, we have to understand our why and the truth that goes with that. So when you understand your life assignment, do you all have mission statements? Do you have mission statements? Your own personal mission statements. Your own personal. If I stopped right now and said, you have 5 seconds, I'm going to give you $100 right now. Give me your mission statement and pitch it like a pro. Could you do it? Could you do it? Who says they can do it? That's not a pro. Who says they can do it? See, we should all have our hands up. There's no elevator that I can get in and meet someone that I can't pitch myself. I am a winner that makes winners. Where's my shirt? Come up, you be my model. Open the shirt up. I am a winner that makes winners. So much so that the Lord gave me this, that I am a prophetess, PROFITESS. And this shirt has 45 scriptures on it that tells me that. So it is wearable vision board. That is my wearable vision board that I sell online. And so again, I am not in the t-shirt business. You won't find me designing other t-shirts. When you know your purpose, you stick with your purpose. That is why I'm not intimidated. I have lots of beautiful jewelry. Couldn't decide what necklace to wear this morning, so I wore all 3. It's my world, right? I dress for me. And that is why I have them all on. So, don't come around saying, do you realize? Yes, I do. Now, I could start a jewelry business. I have enough jewelry to do that, but that's not my assignment. So even in designing this t-shirt, it is to help encourage those that I coach that they were born to win. So I just have a few of these in the back. I bought about 10 at the most. And then where's my book, sweetheart? This book I put together is called How to Make Your Inbox Your Cash Box. See, some of us spend too much time online for nothing. We waste time. One thing I will not do is waste my time nor your time. If you've ever been on my Periscopes, I'm very intentional about my time. See, I get up in the morning and I thank God, I pray, and I declare all those, all the declarations we do, but then I go to my email to see how much money I've made. I literally get up, if not every morning, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and I have money in my inbox from my sales and promotions. See, it's called automation. Automation. And so this book teaches you my strategies for automation. Now, this book, it's a workbook, so you can write in it, you can flip the pages. It's $50. If you're not willing to invest $50 in it, then don't come to the table. Right? It's real easy because I don't do deals, I don't do discounts, none of that. This costs me. And I'm real intentional about that. I know what it costs me. So this is when if big girl time. Sometimes I'll tweet that I'm doing big girl shopping, not because I'm a big girl, but because the shoes really cost a lot, right? So you got to be in the right frame of mind. Thank you, sweetheart. You got to be in the right frame of mind when you decide I'm going to walk in my purpose. So let me help you. Here are the reasons that I receive as a coach as to why we often don't walk in our purpose. Number one, we don't understand our why. Why is it that God created you? And don't be distracted again if you've never seen anybody else do it. One of the largest paydays I ever had, I went on tour with Verizon's How Sweet the Sound. It was the gospel choir competition. And they needed somebody that could handle VIP hosting. And somebody had been to church and they had seen me do it. And so I didn't even know that's really what it was called. I just am a servant at heart. And I love people. And so I understand that when you serve, particularly in ministry, you should not get off focus if you're really serving well. So that's how I serve. Well, they called me. They said they needed this help. I said, okay. And she said, we're going to need you to come to New York for a week. And then you're going to travel, do 7 cities. And it was just an amazing opportunity. And when she told me how much I was going to get paid, oh, God. When I tell you, I'd never seen anybody do VIP hosting. That is why I love that you're doing what's it called? Yeah, I got some artists. I'm going to make sure they get that. See, you got to get your product in the right hands. All it takes is one person. Yeah, all it takes is one person. So she hadn't seen anybody do that, but that didn't stop her from doing it because she understood the purpose, right, that God gave her with that product. So number 2 is you're full of excuses. I'm too old. I don't have money. I don't have the resources. I lack the education. An excuse is just a crutch for the uncommitted. An excuse is just a crutch for the uncommitted. Number 2, you're distracted. See, if you can tell me everything that Nene and Portia and Phaedra and all of them are doing on The Real Housewives, you're distracted. Number 4, you don't trust your gifts. You don't trust your gifts. See, I don't believe that there's a success coach out there that's better than me. They just may have a larger platform, but smell my smoke because I'm on my way. Oh, yeah, I believe in me. Oh, I believe in me. Yeah, you have to understand and trust your gifts. Who thought Starbucks would sell coffee for $5 a cup, and the cars are just lined up one after another. Let's see, number 5. You've given your power to someone else. See, you've decided that job you have has more security than your gifts. The devil is a lie. I was downsized from my dream job. I worked at New Birth Church, 25,000 members, about 15 years ago. I was doing amazing things. Did a women's conference for 2,500 women in the Bahamas. Did a men's conference right here in Jacksonville. I did amazing things. In fact, I had just gotten back from bringing a group of 128 people to Africa for 2 weeks. And I was called into a meeting and informed that my position had been eliminated. With no notice, no MRS degree. You know what that means. And a little bit of savings, I was told, see you later. Well, at that moment, I called my good friend. You all know William Murphy, Mr. Praise is what I do. And his wife, we were all really good friends, and I was doing some work with them at the time. And they said, listen, Robin, you should start your own business. I said, I don't want to do that. I never had any desire. And they said, well, we believe you can do it. And so I went home, I cried, and I was so upset. And my girlfriend, his wife, she called me back about 9 o'clock at night. She said, you still crying? I said, yes. She said, I'm okay, I'm going to call you back. So she called me back at 10:30. You still crying? I said, yes. She said, well, I'm going to call you back. I said, good Lord. You all, this is no exaggeration. She called me back at about 11:45 p.m. and she said, are you still crying? I said, well, I'm better. She said, well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to talk to you for 15 minutes because at 12:01 it's morning. And it is time for joy to come back into your life. See, they helped remind me that my being and my purpose was not attached to that job. And so in order to look that demon in the mouth and kick him where it counted, I went back to that same church on Sunday, not to one service, but both services. And as it was, I actually stayed there a whole year just as a member and not on staff. The very people that laughed at me and poked fun at me for losing my dream job are calling me now saying, can you help me? I'm telling you, you stick to your purpose. Within a month, I was in Israel being baptized in the Jordan River because a client called and said, we need a travel coordinator to lead 15 bishops to Israel. Can you imagine I was paid to do that? Yeah, but see, I was in place. I didn't put my mouth on the man of God, and I didn't leave that church. And so, and all the things you've heard about everything that's happened, that's not my story. Bishop is an amazing man, and I love him to this day. Here we go. Let's see. Number 6, you're stuck in tradition. Yeah, you're stuck in tradition, which is why you've not embraced your purpose. You know what tradition is? It is just frozen success. I tell my churches when I go in and I do leadership teachings, just because you've been the head usher for 30 years means nothing. There's no extra reward in heaven because you get to tell God you did this position for 30 years. In fact, let me tell you, you held up progress because there was somebody else that God wanted to use to bring revelation to that role. We do all this praying. We need somebody to bring their power, their influence, and their ability to bless us. But you're stuck in tradition. God isn't going to bless what's old. You got to walk in what he has told you your purpose is. And then number 7, you're number 2, and you're comfortable being a number 2. A lot of us say we're number 1, but we're not. We're comfortable being number 2s. See, you've heard for so long to just do it and where you end up is fine. Again, I don't do anything to be number 2. Look at Olympians. Do they practice all those years and sacrifice all those years to win silver or bronze? No. They go for the gold. Yes, because who even remembers who was silver and bronze? No. The real wealth goes to who's number 1. Look at Jennifer Hudson. She didn't win American Idol, but she didn't let that stop her. because she said, I'm number one. So she continued to pursue her dreams, and you know where she's at now. Number 8, you're afraid of hard work. A lot of us say we want success, but we will not toil and tarry long hours, late at night. I wanted to be with you all last night for service, but this will be my 6th engagement this week. I needed some rest last night. I work hard. My parents have been married 57 years, and they live with me. I'm honored to be able to take care of them. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I don't believe in little people, from me at least. But I take care of my parents, and so I work hard for that. Amen. Number 9. Oh, yeah, I don't fool with little people. So I have 5 little people nieces. And all my brothers think that I should love them. And I do love them, but they have to go home. Yeah, they have to go home. Let's see, number 9 is you're fearful of failure. Do you all know that failing is not the opposite of success? It is a part of success. For those of you that got, 4 and 5 and 6 business cards, I know Pastor Teresa just gave me a few cards. That's all right. See, it took me time to figure out what my real purpose was. And this is what happens as a coach. I tell my students this. It's uncomfortable to let go of what we think is ours, right? But I'm one of those where I continue to say what I see until I see what I say. Yeah. And so though I have my agency and it's doing well, I am a success coach that will be recognized by the world, and there's no distractions for me. I will stay on course. So flesh it out. Figure out what it is your ultimate purpose is. Again, I'll be 50 in January. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm not afraid to share them so that you can avoid them. Yeah. And so that's what I put even in that book, how to make your inbox your cash box, because the systems work. Matthew 25 talks about the parable of the talents. Just real quick, one was given 1 talent, one was given 2, and one was given 5. We know the story. The one with 5 and 2 doubled it. The one that only had 1, he buried it. You know why he buried it? Because of fear. He buried it because of fear. But God said, shameful. He called him lazy. See, those of you that won't step out so that you can better define your purpose, shameful. Somebody needs what's inside of you. And until you get in place, they're lost. They're lost. So what, you can't get your weave done, your nails done, buy the latest dress. I went a whole year and a half without being able to shop. But you know what happened? I lost 25 pounds. I'm like you, the rest of me has shown up now, but I used to be, half of this. But I did. I looked the best I ever looked. I met some amazing people. That's when you really let go and let God. Yeah, when you're uncomfortable. So think about that in walking in your purpose. And then number 10 is you can't see. There's nothing sadder than someone that has sight but no vision. I thought that's so appropriate that your book is 2020 Vision. You need to open your eyes and see more than what's in front of you. Your purpose is so great. I don't want you to live the life you're living forever. I know that things happen. Situations arise. I was in my email the other day, and I just happened to go check junk email. I get a lot of email. And PayPal had sent me an email that said we're about to begin to offer business loans to entrepreneurs. And before we roll it out, we're only introducing it to a select few. And you're one of the select few. So I was like, is this spam? So I clicked it, went through the link, and let me tell you what they're doing. And I think this is amazing. When you go to banks, you got to qualify. They give you an APR, interest rate, and all that good stuff. PayPal said, we look at the amount of revenue that you filter through us. And that's how we decide how much of a business loan we will give you. I just said, well, I just want to try it. I want to see how it works. Within 2 minutes, they deposited $5,000 in my account based on the amount of monies that I had brought through. So the loans, they'll give you from, I think it's $500 to $10,000. And they charged me $214 for the $5,000 loan. And then they take out 20% until they get their monies back. So no credit check. You didn't have to go through any major hoops. See, I'm a coach, and so I have to be able to give options to my clients. So when I did that, I was just blown away. But I'm telling you, that is why your success, if you do what you do online and go global, your success can't be stopped. Amen? So remember this. I am a minister of the gospel, so I can say this. Your pastor does an amazing job of telling you what's inside of you. We were all born with it, right? Our spiritual DNA because of who our Father in heaven is. But it is your coach's assignment to bring that out of you and give you strategies to give it life. And so whether it's myself, it's Angela, it's Teresa, or whatever, or any other coach in this room, get connected to a coach. I still work with 2 coaches, even though I coach. I speak and travel all over the world. That is because I'm continuously being poured into. That's right. Never ever think you're there and you've arrived. Absolutely. And then I'll share this, that in January, I'm hosting an event called P3, Pray, Plan, and Prosper. Even though I work with those that aren't saved, I'm still saved. And so anything I do is built on biblical principles. And so Pray, Plan, and Prosper, P3, is a retreat for professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders. I've got world-class people coming in. We're going to the North Georgia mountains in Atlanta. And we are going to spend 3 nights, 4 days. Dr. Kalita Forbes is an amazing clinical psychologist. She's going to be talking about emotional health. Ladies, some of us have issues. We were born with them. Not all of us, just walked into them, but some of us were born with them. And we've never gotten any help. Yeah, so see, you don't know you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, but we do. And so we want to help you with that. Mr. Nick Nelson, his agency is Liquid Soul. Any movie basically that is produced out of Hollywood, his agency is the representative that shares it with the African American consumer market. And then Pastor Stephanie Jennings is an amazing intercessor. We're going to the mountains, and she's going to teach us how to have prayer lives that line up to give us faith to go the distance. And then me, your go-to girl, I'm the last retreat coach. I'm doing 9 different sessions on success. I'm going to teach you. I've been on Periscope. I've made over $8,000 on Periscope in 2 months. How many of you all would like to learn how to make some money on Periscope? Absolutely. Social media, 70% of my engagements come from social media. So there's no reason, God did it for me, he'll do it for you. So I want to invite you just to be open in this season. Identify your why. Your purpose will lead you to your passion. Your passion, will lead you to your purpose, which will ultimately lead you to prosperity. Be blessed.